Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Sally Limis. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. Police continue to look for a fugitive wanted for ICE. Also tonight, one of the last elected officials is finally sworn in. And many recommendations to save the government money, but which won't be as painful. In sports, a young local girl on the way to becoming a professional tennis player. Stay with us, we have these stories and more up next.
What's the move?
And there you have it, McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich. From the makers of the world's most stolen fries. The juicy chicken sandwich from the place that offers extra napkins for a reason. The tender chicken sandwich from the creators of a sandwich phenomenon. So you won't just be biting into a chicken sandwich, you'll be biting into McDonald's new crispy, juicy, tender chicken sandwich. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Half a day to the Wami and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Friday, January 20, 2023. Police stay on the lookout for a suspected ICE dealer and is asking the community for their help. Yi Fang, also known as Batu, remains on the run from police authorities. Batu is wanted for theft, illegal possession, and trafficking of a controlled substance. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of Batu can contact the Criminal Investigation Division at 664-9064, or you can call 911. If you wish to remain anonymous, you can also call the Scene of My Crime Stoppers at 670-234-7272. Police are advising the public who happens to see him to keep your distance as he is considered armed and dangerous. An elected education board member goes back to where it all started as he celebrates the beginning of his last term. Andrew Orsini was sworn in today as a member of the 17th Sinamay State Board of Education. Orsini won his seat in the 2022 general election last November. This is his second term as a board member. Considering current issues, Orsini states the work ahead will be challenging, but he is ready to face it.
Right now we want to at least retract to trying to rebuild all the structures that are needed in their schools at this time. And then we're trying to also look at leveling how our financial status with our local government, how we're able to conjure up with something that will be more profitable and more efficient for our school system as we move along. Because, you know, education is our thing here. Without our education, we won't have any economy. And that's going to be a sad thing. If we don't have any education, no economy, I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't want to go there. So that's where we're at right now.
This morning, he took his oath of office before the Sinamay Public School System Administration, key management team, family, and friends at Olei Elementary School, marking this ceremony the first of its kind. PSS Commissioner Dr. Alfred B. Addis states The event is historic and is a unique way of connecting with students and schools.
The most touching one is the fact that he was able to come back, like the story of the turtle, when they nest and then they're ready to hatch and then they go on with life. They come back to where they were born. And so this was his beginning of his career in education as a PTA president. And so I am very pleased that this may be the beginning of something different for PSS.
Orsini served as board chairman in 2021, overseeing several projects in PSS, such as solar panels for each school, language immersion programs, free laptops and internets for students during the pandemic, and more. It was also during his tenure that regular working hours were restored and financial incentives were given to all employees.
As a leader, I learned to accept criticism, to accept doubts, to accept betrayals. But I will not accept defeat, because in the end, a turtle can be scarred, have some scratches, but the turtle will keep on swimming.
Orsini joins Board Chairman Gregory Borja, Vice Chairman Antonio Borja, Secretary Macy Tenorio, and members Herman Attilig, Phyllis Ain, and Dr. Ron Snyder. As the administration looks into cost-cutting measures for the CNMI government, Governor Arnold Palacios hopes the retirees' 25% additional pension and tax hikes will be the last option.
That's part of the recommendation. That's one of the recommendations. That's one of the many recommendations. But that is going to be something that is going to be at the end of the list. Okay? That's not going to be the top priority that we're going to cut. To the extent that we can retain that part of our pensions, to our retirees, we will retain that. And we will work very, very hard to make sure, with the legislative commitment and everybody's commitment, we will try to protect that as much as possible.
Governor Palacios states everything is on the table, such as austerity and furloughs. The administration has already begun implementing a travel on your own dime policy for official government business off island. According to Palacios, tax hikes is also something they do not want to impose.
But I believe it's a misappropriation of public funds, and I don't want to go out and raise taxes again and impose the penalty on the businesses and the people of the Commonwealth because of misappropriation, misdeeds by government officials.
The cost-cutting measures for CNMI government employees may be in the weeks to come. Employees under the mayor's office take a quick break from their daily duties to participate in an ethics training workshop. The Office of the Public Auditor conducted an ethics training workshop with the Saipan Mayor's office this week. The discussion focused on what the proper protocols are in handling conflicts of interest and gifts and gratuities. The training was led by OPA lawyer Ashley Cost.
You always want to ask yourself, would the gift be given if I were not a government employee?
Cost explained that unacceptable gifts include cash or gifts from someone being regulated by the entity or has direct business with the entity. There are some acceptable gifts, such as non-cash items, but it must be under $50. Cost does advise they must be occasional and not anonymous.
A Ports Authority official meets with a contractor regarding an airport project. The contractor pays the $24 lunch bill. Is this okay? No. No, because the Ports Authority is doing business with the contractor. Right.
OPA also covered unallowable political activity during government office hours and prohibited personnel actions.
A public official may not discharge, demote, reduce the pay of others, or threaten to do so for making or not making a political contribution, or for supporting or not supporting a candidate or political party. So again, if you know about these things happening, absolutely let us know.
Penalties for violations of these rules can lead to suspension without pay, termination, and possible jail time. OPA also covered financial disclosures and more. Saipan Mayor R.B. Camacho.
This is the first thing that I prioritize for them to undergo this training, to remind them, about the do's and don'ts as a government employee to a business community or any outside the mayor's office that deal directly to them in regards to those activities in exchange with government service for his personal interest. So I like this. This is a good workshop. And I hope this training goes to another agency, so we can prevent, corruptions, future corruptions, all those things, because, the employee need to be educated on this subject.
Tourism is everyone's business, including CNMI youth. A summit draws over 300 students to the Kensington Hotel for a learning day on tourism. Interest in the tourism industry can begin at a young age. That is the belief of the Marianas Tourism Education Council, who held a summit for over 300 students on Thursday.
The importance of today's MTech Summit is very simple, bringing together our youth, our kids who are in the schools so they can understand their role in the importance of the tourism industry in CNMI and what it is they can do as a young student, as a young child.
The audience were students 3rd to 12th grade who are members of the My Wave clubs in various schools across Saipan. It was a chance for them to fully understand why visitors come to the NMI, how it affects them, and what they can do on their part. The theme of the summit is We're Back with Respect, Our People, Our Land, Our Guests. Dr. Bobby Cruz was the first key speaker. Cruz is a long-standing educator who believes one factor that separates the CNMI from other tourist destinations is the respect people of the CNMI grew up with.
We really need to start by knowing who we are. We need to know our brand. We need to make sure that it is authentic. We need to have a unique culture, and we need to really to understand at our core what represents us. And so, we have some amazing indigenous roots and amazing values. Things like respect, reciprocity, family, inafamalik, which means to do good, to do better. And all of these things matter. All of these things should be embedded into the advertising that we do.
Beneventi says tourism numbers around the world have not been the same since the pandemic. The Marianas Visitors Authority are doing all they can to promote the island, and everyone else should follow suit.
But if you look at the global events with the pandemic, with the global turn down because of coronavirus, and still travelers are not really coming back to pre-pandemic numbers. But we're still going to keep promoting, right? Nothing will stop us from promoting. As our speakers will tell the kids, it's up to you to promote the islands. Put it on Instagram, put it on Facebook, put it on wherever you can. Call your family, Zoom your friends. Say Saipan2 Road is the most beautiful place in the world, right? So we're not going to stop promoting. Despite the numbers around us, we're still going to keep promoting our destination, right?
The summit also featured Gordon Marciano and Kyun Hee Han as their guest speakers. Educational exhibits were posted outside the Kensington Hall to inform students of tourist sites and how to take care of them. Coming up, more trips to Dubai and a cute performance from Olei kids. Stay tuned.
Fast, fun, and easy. That's how your home Wi-Fi should be. So start with an internet plan that fits your budget. Introducing your home Wi-Fi starter pack, also known as WISP. Enjoy up to 25 megabits per second for as low as $35 a month, plus a free router with your wireless subscription. That's hours of movies, games, social media, and more endless fun. Get your Wi-Fi starter pack today only at Docomo Pacific. Better together. Additional conditions may apply.
Green sea turtles and hawksbill turtles call the Mariana Islands home. They are an important part of the marine ecosystem. They are under threat, and they are protected under CNMI law. Keep plastic out of the ocean. Keep vehicles off the beach. Use the Sea Turtle Stranding Hotline if you see poaching activities or if you see a turtle in trouble. Call 287-8537 and save a turtle.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. Tonight we continue our series of stories from the desert of the UAE. This is undoubtedly the tallest tourist attraction in the area and also in the world. Our Chris Nelson reports from Elevation.
The Burj started here in 2004 at this site. By 2009 it looked more like this. The Burj Khalifa rises over a half mile in the sky. As skyscrapers go, it has the biggest scrape at over 2,700 feet. It's part of a new development called Downtown Dubai, and it's the centerpiece of a large-scale mixed-use development that includes a shopping center nearby. About 16 million people a year pay to go up to varying heights inside the Burj. Most popular is sunset and going into evening. The decision to build came from the government wanting to diversify from a primarily oil-based economy. Dubai has a lot of notable things. In the mountains, there is the longest zip line in the world with speeds that approach 90 miles per hour as you fly like Superman or Superwoman. Biggest picture frame in the world, just nearby the Burj, where you can see both the past, present, and future. And Dubai has winter sports too. Even though the climate's warm all year round, this ski mountain is built indoors, so you can ski or board throughout the calendar year. There are 57 elevators inside the Burj and 8 escalators. The elevator counts down as it comes to pluck you and take you up to the observation deck. From the deck, you can see all of Dubai and maybe even further. Is that the space station up there? On the higher floors, the sun can still be seen for several minutes after it has set at ground level, and this has led Dubai clerics to rule that those living above the 80th floor should wait 2 additional minutes to break their Ramadan fast, and those living above the 150th floor, 3 minutes. From the observation deck, you get a bird's eye view of an exclusive address. This structure on the left is a hotel, which is pretty cool all by itself, but even cooler is the swimming pool up here, which is the highest infinity pool in the world. It's hard to sneak in, though. You have to have a room for pool access, and those start at about $700 per night. The pool sits on the 77th floor of this hotel. At the top of the Burj, you can spread your wings, or you can walk on a floor that monitors the sights below, and sometimes the floor cracks, which can make people jump. Outside the Burj is a man-made lake, and boats ferry people around for the light show that is part of the nightly entertainment on the building. The adjacent Dubai Mall, one of the largest in the world, it has all the high-end usual suspects, a total of 1,200 shops, 200 places to eat, as well as an Olympic-size skating rink and a great big wall of water. Chris Nelson for the Channel 2 News.
Earlier this evening, you watched the oath-taking of board member Andrew Orsini, but we only showed you the formal part of that ceremony. Now, the fun begins. As the host of this morning's event, Olei Turtles entertained guests with a lively and a very much enjoyable performance.
Everybody knows this song, right, Turtles? Let's do this.
Children are truly amazing in all ways. Okay, up next, a local tennis player seeks to enhance her sporting career.
Need a new phone? Trade in now and get up to $500 off our best 5G devices. Trade in your older phone in any condition and step up to better savings and speeds only our 5G network can provide. Check out our website and catch up on the best mobile experience. Trade in now. Docomo Pacific. Better together.
My doctor gave me the pills, so they must be safe, right?
If taken exactly as prescribed, short-term use can be safe, but painkillers have real risk. Misusing an opioid painkiller can cause serious harm, including addiction and death, and misuse can happen quite easily. Make sure you never mix them with alcohol, antidepressants, sedatives, or sleep aids. And if you are prescribed an opioid, you need to tell your doctor about any other drugs, including herbal supplements that you are taking. It only takes a little to lose a lot.
This project was supported by a grant from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation. Contents are solely the responsibility of CHCC and do not necessarily represent the official views of the CDC or the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Freshness. It's the overall reason beer drinkers choose draft beer. And that's the reason Godfather's is making a serious commitment to offering their customers a full lineup of draft beer on tap. Choose from Lagunitas IPA, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, Lost Coast Downtown Brown Ale, Fat Tire, Blue Moon, and more. All competitively priced. Godfather's Bar now serving the island's widest selection of ice-cold beer right from the tap. Godfather's Bar, where everybody's family.
The Tan Soo Lin Foundation promotes the culture of giving back. The foundation and its generous partners are committed to supporting programs that include health, education, and sports. Initiatives that promote arts and culture, the environment, and tourism will benefit our community and our residents. Giving back and making a difference will help ensure that the island paradise we call home will be a better place to live.
Tonight's sports brought to you in part by Tan Holdings through the Tan Su Lin Foundation, making communities a better place to live.
Buenas sports fans.
Tonight, we meet a young star who serves tennis balls and volleyballs. She currently represents the islands on a national level, but endless possibilities could lead to a professional level. Our Milan Goodwin has more.
Losing is not my enemy. Fear of losing is my enemy. A quote from Rafael Nadal.
Young Star Shining, brought to you by the Tan Su Lin Foundation.
Our young star for this evening is an accomplished tennis player. Here is Hajan Elliott.
So my name is Hajan Elliott, and I'm a student at Christian Academy, and I'm 17 years old, and I'm a senior.
And what sport do you play?
I play tennis.
Hajan comes from a family of tennis players who taught her the sport at a young age.
My dad and uncle, they influenced me, and even my grandpa, and so they started having me practice with them, and so that's how it all started.
Aside from her familial connection to tennis, Hajan was pulled towards the sport because of its welcoming community.
Everyone knows each other, and so it's like a family type relationship with everyone, and it's so fun to be around everyone and just play against them, and it will bring also new opportunities.
Hajan is currently on the Sinumai tennis national team, where she trains vigorously. Hajan has also competed in various tournaments around the world.
So I've been on the Pacific Mini Games team, the women's team, and I've been to Fiji for the Nations Cup, and I placed second.
Since 2019, Hajan has also been a key player on the Grace Christian Academy girls volleyball team. After Hajan joined the team, they have been undefeated in the Interscholastic Girls Volleyball Tournament.
For the last 4 years, my volleyball team and I, we placed first.
As a senior, Hajan now plans her future, where she hopes to continue playing tennis at a high level.
Well, I'm currently aiming for a tennis career in college, and either Division 2 or Division 3 in tennis.
Playing Division 1, 2, or 3 sports in college is a major accomplishment and will take lots of effort and commitment.
Division 1 is a really high level, you can probably go pro after that. Division 2 is just a little lower. Division 3 is the lowest level out of all 3.
As Hajan continues exploring her passion for tennis, she offers this advice to other young athletes.
Focus on one thing, be open to a lot of opportunities as that they can make you get to a lot of things.
Young Star Shining, brought to you by the Tan Su Lin Foundation.
What's the move? Kinda wild
Hi, I'm Dre, one of the personal trainers here at Goats Gym, and today we're going to go over the kettlebell deadlift. Fantastic exercise to build overall strength, particularly in the legs and hips. Remember, we want to make sure that our setup is in good position. If you set up in a bad position, it's not going to look good and it's certainly not going to feel good. So a common error setup is obviously a rounded upper back. 2 simple ways of correcting that. All I'm gonna have Vince do here is extend his arms up here, and all he's gonna do is think about reaching long and pushing his hips back. Reach long and push your hips back. So as you can see, he's already in good position. Now all he's gonna do is grab that kettlebell. He's got tension in his legs and in his back. All he's gonna do is just stand up tall, finish with his glutes.
And for the KSPN weather report, mostly sunny, east-northeast wind 15 to 20 miles per hour with gusts as high as 24 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, east wind 16 to 20 miles per hour with gusts up to 24 miles per hour. High 86, low 74, the humidity at 74%. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, east wind 16 to 18 miles per hour with gusts as high as 24 miles per hour. High 86, low 75. The marine forecast combined seas of 5 to 7 feet will build through Saturday night, peaking at 7 to 9 feet in Tinian and Saipan and 8 to 10 feet in the Rotor waters. Moderate to fresh trade winds are expected as well, with some strong areas from Saturday night through Monday, when another small craft advisory will be expected. East wind 15 to 20 knots, wind waves 3 to 4 feet, east swell 5 to 7 feet. The sunrise 6:46 a.m., high tide at 5:19 p.m., low tide 12:31 p.m., and the sunset 6:08 p.m. And that wraps up your Friday edition of the News, Sports, and Weather here in the Marianas. We hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday.